Margvelashvili is an energy and sustainability expert, the director of World Experience for Georgia. He joins us now from Tbilisi. Good to have you. So when you see this looming for many months now, this energy crisis, why is the scramble to simply find more oil and gas? Why is the scramble not to put solar panels in every community, build more wind turbines? Why not?
Well, first of all, we have to realize the scales. Renewables in total world's power generation account for now about 30%. But there is also heating, automotive, transport, use of fossil fuels, which is very difficult to replace. Therefore, putting solar panels, which is going, and it is going pretty fast, it will have its effect, but the progress will be not so fast as we would like to see. There are the plans and there is a report by International Energy Agency about net zero 2050, which says that if we take all the measures, including energy efficiency, renewable energy, and development of the new technologies, so this scenario is pretty tough, and it requires a very strong effort, coordinated effort from many different countries. So this progress is going on. Russia war in Ukraine has reversed temporarily the trend to more dirty fossil fuels, but neither European Union or other countries have given up on their plans, and we hope the development will be fast. But one other thing, in last year, in 2021, the total investment in renewable energy was about 366 billion in the world, while the fossil fuel subsidies amounted to about 6 trillion, I'm sorry.
Wow.
So the world has to look more seriously about those distortions, and the amount from that fossil fuel subsidies could be diverted to renewable energy. But again, this is also not the end of the story. It's not only about finance. It requires building of a complex sets of value chains so that the production can be ramped up worldwide, globally, and also consumption, because in order to pave the way to renewable wind and solar, you need also to switch to electricity in consumption, to electric cars, to industry, switching to new technologies, and so on. So it is a very complex undertaking, and it requires time.
You do see some pledges, like Denmark just announcing that it's going to increase wind power 7-fold within the next 8 years. To what extent has this energy crisis really jump-started efforts around the world similar to that, to really make a push to put up those solar panels and increase wind power?
Well, Denmark is a leader in wind power anyway, but one single country does not really change the global picture. In order to have the global effect, there will be actually two tendencies. One is localized development of renewable energy for own consumption, maybe a little bit regionalized, where the countries will try to decarbonize those sectors and those consumption which is easier to go. But the world cannot go ahead to 2050 net zero targets without big regional projects. The major sources, anticipated sources, and without moving to like hydrogen, green hydrogen, that is the way of storing and transporting the renewable energy. And the major places where this should be developed are considered Australia, South America, Sub-Saharan Africa, the places where is a combination of big potential for renewables with available territory. I would also underline and emphasize the role of Central Asia, which has huge territories and very good potential as well. So those centers need to be connected to consumption centers, and that is more or less likely picture in further future, not maybe by 2030, but further if we want to go to net zero, if we want to survive as a mankind and be below 1.5 degree centigrade scenario, then those things need to be happening.
Sure. And when you look at some of the world's biggest polluters, China, India, the United States, how much of a desire is there, not necessarily on the federal scale, but among businesses and innovators to really push for renewable energy? Do you see the desire there growing?
Well, actually, China is the world leader in renewable energy technologies, and majority of those investments that I've been mentioning are in Chinese equipment and Chinese technology. So they are really stepping up this renewable energy, and I believe they see this strategically, the future that renewable energy is inevitably going to be the leading source of energy supply in future. Therefore, they are looking at it. In short term, meanwhile, both India and China are benefiting a lot from cheap Russian oil. But this is and also China is at the same time increasing its coal consumption for power. So there are medium and short-term tendencies, but also long-term tendencies. In long term, it is inevitable that China will be a leader in renewable energy transition because not only of the potential for renewable energy itself, but of the technologies, and very importantly, because of the supplies of critical minerals, copper, and other materials that are needed for development of renewable energy technologies.
Very
One other
interesting.
thing China is doing is actually they have announced a huge mega project in Gobi Desert, which is about 450 gigawatts, 450,000 megawatts. So, which is not comparable to any regular size project. The progress needs to be monitored yet, but the announcement has been done, and they are, as they have said, they are starting to do this project. It will be a combined solar and wind development, or like the one that we see on the screen, and it will utilize a huge solar potential of the Gobi Desert.
So interesting. Murman, it's good to talk to you in depth on this. Thanks very much.